Hey, what's up? I'm Alec, and for the last couple of years, I was running 1,000 GPUs in a warehouse where we hand-built all of our GPU servers, hand-built the data center. I learned quite a few things about how GPU infrastructure works, and I always see people looking to get into the business, and they start by making all the same mistakes that I did when I started. And the biggest thing is there's really one way to do it. If you're just like an individual looking to build a GPU server, and it comes down to the motherboard. There's one motherboard out there that actually gives you what you need to build a GPU server. And ASRock makes it. The difference between this motherboard, I guess, and any other motherboard you'll see out there is it doesn't use PCIe slots, okay? So this is what I ran into, I guess, when I started doing all this, is I was looking for workstations and motherboards that I could put a couple GPUs on without having to change anything. Then I started using risers and like little things that would take a GPU slot and turn it into a SlimSAS port, which is what these guys are. But ultimately I just did everything in my wheelhouse to avoid buying a motherboard like this, and kind of learned the hard way that the right way to do it is you do just have to buy a motherboard with SlimSAS on it. So ASRock makes this motherboard. It's called a ROMED2-32GM-2T, and it's got 19 SlimSAS ports on it. So what a SlimSAS port is it's like 8 PCIe Gen 4 lanes in the form of like a pluggable cable. And so what you do with those ports is you get cables like this. So these are SlimSAS cables, and you connect them to risers like this. So if you've ever seen like the GPU mining world where there's all these PCIe risers that kind of look like this, that work over USB, these are the same as those, except they work with 16 lanes of PCIe Gen 4. So what we would do with these risers and these motherboards is we would take 8 of these risers, connect 16 cables to the motherboard, and we could host 8 GPUs at full PCIe Gen 4 bandwidth. On that motherboard, you've got sort of 3 SlimSAS ports left over after doing all that. And we'd basically just take those and use 2 of them for NVMe. That would allow you to have 4 NVMe drives in the server, and then we'd use the last one for a NIC. So say you want to put like a 100 gig NIC in one of these, you need a certain amount of PCIe connectivity to handle something like that. The mega cheap way of doing it with that motherboard is there's actually 10 gig RJ45 ports right on the motherboard. So these like little internet ports you see here, they actually work at 10 gigabit per second. We'd get this cheap $200 Arista 10 gig switch, and we could power, you could do like 48 servers basically on a pair of Arista switches for like $500. I did just have this piece of hardware and wanted to, make a video and just show how we did it. If this is interesting, or you want to see how some of the other hardware works or how one of these are assembled, I actually made a video about that in the past. I'll like put a link to it here or something. And if you like that kind of content, I can always do more of that kind of thing too. So this is a quick one, but I hope you enjoyed it.